Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we are on trend and we are looking at items from 10 CC creators that I think are on trend for 2024. So the room that we are looking at today is the living room, and the trend that we are looking at today is the retro trend. So this will be the last for now anyway, on trend CC episode. But I will be looking at doing some more CC building and CC showcases just as part of my Mixed Monday lineup. So there will be a few little changes coming to the channel and I hope you like them. But there will be more CC sort of showcases and stuff coming. So keep an eye out for those in the future because I've had so much fun looking at all of this wonderful CC and working out how to integrate it in rooms and as part of the trends for 2024 as far as design goes. So yeah, I'm really excited about doing some different things as well, but I'm also kind of sad to say goodbye in this episode to my CC on trend series. But let's move on to brighter things and look at what we're looking at. We are looking at Clutter. And this clutter comes to us from the House of Harlix from their living room collection. Now, clutter. We've talked a bit about in this series, one of the big trends for 2024 is about personalization. So it's about creating cozy spaces, but giving it those individual touches, the very you touches. And one way to bring that in is through like vintage pieces. And another way is through clutter, because all of this clutter is you living life, right? And what's more personalized than you living life? I don't know. So here we have some fabulous clutter. And like the whole range of it is absolutely amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, so much to choose from. I love it. So what we have here is we've got some books. And they come in a range of colors. So one of the big things for 2024, we've talked about sustainability, and sustainability comes in the form of recycled or upcycled materials. It's about using materials that are natural and come from nature. So things like your woods and like marble, rattan, bamboo, all those sorts of things. So anything that sort of gives that sort of natural, sustainable vibe is very on trend for 2024. So we have got like lots of fabulous little colors there. I thought like the candles sort of had that, real sort of neutral look, and also had like a nice sort of range of colors that I thought would be very cool. And there's like quite a bit of sort of wood, which works really well within the sort of sustainable environment, and also some good colours that could work in a room. Oh, I love that tray. It's got heaps of different little things on it, different kinds of rooms. So in a retro room, so this is going to be quite an interesting build actually when we get to that in the next episode, because retro is definitely its own vibe, but you've got to try and not make it like over the top retro. So it's going to be quite interesting. I don't want to go like over the top, but I still want to keep like the vibe, the sort of the retro kind of vibe. And I think one of the main ways that I am looking at doing that is through color. So when I was thinking about clutter, I was thinking about keeping the clutter like a little bit more neutral in its tone. And then like I'd bring in the colors maybe through the wallpaper or the furnishings or the flooring and see, vibe it all in and mesh it all in that way. So I'm excited to see how this all comes together. But anyway, this clutter is from the House of Harlix from their living room collection. Up next, and you do not need to adjust your screen. This is not a test. This is some wallpaper and some flooring. So this wallpaper and flooring comes from Little Dica, and it's from their sleek Slumber bedroom. The reason that I've really picked this selection, so when we're talking about colours for a retro living room, we're talking about olives, burnt oranges, browns, and brown is very in for the season. No matter which style or which trend you want to adhere to, going neutral with browns is very in, and the neutral sort of browns work really well with the retro vibe. So yeah, your mustard yellows, those are sort of the colours that we're looking at for the retro kind of vibe. I think very 70s is what we're going with, you know? So these colours I thought would work really well in a variety of ways. It gave me some options and flexibility in terms of the colours that I would choose. So I could go neutral, I could go greens, oranges. So there's a lot of options here, and I appreciate that in a wallpaper and a flooring. So this is from Little Dica and from their Sleek Slumber bedroom collection. Up next, we are looking at art, and it is gorgeous little art at that. So this artwork is from Neferu, and it's from their Calming Waters art. So the reason that I chose this was the colours. So we were just talking about that with the flooring and the wallpaper, and how I wanted sort of flexibility with the colours, and the colours that we were looking at were like your burnt oranges, your olive greens, your mustard yellows, your browns, and even like your warm reds. Those are the colours that we're bringing into the retro vibe living room, and these are the colours that are in this painting. So I thought, well, perfect. There's something a little bit different. They've got a person on them, so you know, and they're quite calming and tranquil, and we're talking about coziness and calm and tranquility in the home. So this is part of that, you know, whole vibe for 2024. So I thought color wise these were going to be absolutely perfect and on trend. So I'm looking forward to seeing these in a room and how they're going to, you know, all work. So those were from Neferu from the art Calming Waters. Alrighty, now we have some fabulous furniture, and this comes from Peacemaker from their Futura living collection. So we have a divider, a Credenza, and a console table. And once again, colours came into it. I think design comes into it as well. In terms of when we're talking about a retro living room, it's definitely more of the sleeker shapes, but they have, like, you know, a little bit of a twist to them. So you might have, like, you know, even like a tear-shaped coffee table, or, you know, just like little odd shapes to it. And the Credenza here, this sort of had like little curves on the bottom, which is a little bit different. So it was quite a cool shape. And out of the box storage is a thing that is on trend for 2024. So looking at different ways to store and show off your goods. Well, this is part of 2024 and how storage comes together. So this is the console table, so like your hallway table and that sort of thing. But I thought that could work really well in a living area. And then we had this divider. So maybe we want to have part of the room divided off. Having multi-purpose rooms is very on brand for 2024 as well. So that is definitely under consideration. I like the fact that this had a whole range of colours. So we've got a lot of flexibility there as far as what colour we go for in the retro room. And there are some real natural vibes if we want to go for a more sustainable, natural kind of look. But there are some bolder colours as well in sort of the retro tones in your reds, oranges, yellows and greens. So these items come to us from Peacemaker from their Futura living collection. Alrighty, now we are getting stuck into it, and we are looking at seating and tables, and these come to us from PieriSim from their David apartment collection. So I was just talking about when we were looking at Peacemaker's Futura living set, how some of the pieces of furniture, when it comes to sort of retro vibe, have like really interesting shapes. And this comes into play again when we're looking at this coffee table and end table here that comes with this collection from the David apartment set. It's sort of not one particular shape, but it's kind of like a vibe, you know? Does that make sense? It's a vibe, not a shape. But I really liked that these came in a range of different colours as well. So there's a lot of flexibility there for whatever colour we do the living room in, to mix and match. And I really liked the sectional couch as well. Primarily I really liked the colour, and I thought it had that sort of retro vibe to it, you know, quite chunky arms, quite square, and yeah, those lovely bright, well, not bright, they're kind of like muted, but not muted, you know, the interesting colours that come with the retro vibe in the oranges, greens, reds and yellows. So, you know, I think this should be a really flexible living set to create something out of. So I was like quite excited. I like that there was a texture on here as well. Upholstery is very in for 2024. So that little set that comes to us from PieriSim from their David apartment collection. Okay, next up we have a rug. So this is from a new CC creator to the series. This is SimileBuilds, and this is their little rug collection. So this rug comes in so many swatches, like so many swatches. So I thought, well, if I'm ever going to have a rug that's going to be super flexible in any kind of room, I think this might be the rug for it. So I'm just going to flick through all the different kinds, but I think this has so many colors, so many different styles, that I'm going to find something that will work for my retro living room for sure. You know, it's going to give me flexibility to maybe have a couple of rugs, 3 rugs, 4 rugs. I mean, who knows how many rugs? Probably not 4, but it could be any number of rugs, and the amount of colors. I mean, the different sort of styles. There's so many different things that I could do with this just one rug that I am in love with it, because I love a good rug, and it just brings up so much personality to the house. And we talked about creating personality in 2024 as being a big design thing. So through your clutter, and we've talked about bringing it in through vintage pieces, and also you bring it in the pieces that you choose. So if you want to have like a signature piece, like a particular mirror or a rug in this instance, then you know that brings in that hint of your personality to the room as well, which I think is very cool and on brand for 2024. So this rug is from SimileBuilds from their rug collection. Now we are looking at a freestanding light and also some cushions. I saw this light and I was just like, ooh, wow, I like it. And I love the colors. It was very cool. And I wanted to, like, you know, some cushions, because your cushions and your throws can add like a lot of life to your couches and your chairs. So I thought it'd be cool to have some really cool cushions as well. So let's have a look at the colors that we get with this light. So there's actually quite a few options there as far as the colors go. And I thought there was going to be some really cool options as far as a retro room goes, because there's, you know, your oranges and your greens and your reds and stuff like that. So I thought that could work really nicely. And then with the cushions, we've got a few different options as well, depending on what we go for. So something like that could work really well. Actually, that could work really well, and those could work really well as well. Just, you know, we'll see how it all works out, but they could be like a nice addition to a couch or a chair, or, you know, something along those lines. So those are from SIMcredible, from their Frozen in Time collection. So that's the light and the cushions. Okay, up next, woohoo, we have got a TV. Now I went really retro on the TV. Not 100% if I should go retro on the TV or not in the living room, but I thought I'd give myself the option. So that TV is going to be optional, not 100% if I'll use it or not, but I thought it was very cool, very retro. But, you know, when we're going for a retro trend, we don't want to go off the deep end and go fully retro. We want to just have it as the vibe. Probably won't use the TV, but I thought it was very cool. Oh, this set is from SixamCC, and it's from their Retro Vibes collection. So it's the TV, the mirrors, and the curtains. So the mirrors, I couldn't decide between them. I thought they were both really cool. Like this one over here, I thought that would be like a very cool signature piece in the room. So I thought that would be very cool. This is a little bit more subtle, but I thought, well, again, that could be really cool as well. Like it's got sort of like that different shape to it that we've been talking about with retro items. And then we have the curtains. Again, I thought these could like capture the vibe, and there was like some really cool options as far as the colors and stuff went. So depending on what kind of room I went for, there could be any number of options there. So something a little bit different in the curtains. And the TV, I thought could be cute, but we'll see. I'm not 100% if I'll use that, but I'll definitely use one of these mirrors and the curtains. I think they're going to be very cool and should fit nicely with the room. So this is from SixamCC's Retro Vibes collection. Next, we have a couple of simple things. So this is wall shelf and a table lamp. I just really like the shape of these. I thought they could be really flexible in a range of rooms. We've talked about a little bit about how in the retro rooms you sort of have those sort of odd shapes, you know, a little bit of curve but a lot of straight, and I think that comes into 2024 as far as design trends go. We've talked about curvy and straight lines in previous episodes, and I think the curves are less curvy in a retro room. They're a little bit more subtle, but they are there, and I felt like these two items kind of represented that really nicely. So let's have a wee look at the colours that we get with this. I thought there were some really cool retro colours here as far as the shelving goes. And then there's some same sort of matching colours in the lamp as well, because we didn't have a table lamp. And I thought, you know, I quite like the curve at the bottom of this, and it's like quite simple. but it could look really stylish in the right room. So I'm interested to see how these items fit into our retro room that we're going to build, the living room. So those are from Syboulette, from their hang on, see if I can say this, Simxties Flower Power Part 2 collection. Simxties. It's a hard one to say. Okay, last but certainly not least, we have some shelving. So this comes to us from the Clutter Cat, from their On the Edge collection. And what appealed to me about this for a retro living room was the shapes. So we've talked about how unusual, sort of different kind of shapes really vibe in a retro kind of room, and I thought that these would work super well in a retro room. I probably wouldn't use all of them, but certainly some of them. And I thought this, you know, something like this, you could maybe put like couches or something in there. If we're using a sectional, we could maybe get away with that. This would look really well, you know, this would look really nice in a corner. This could look really nice in the corner, depending on how large we want to go. So that could, you know, look really nice in a corner as well. And then we've got this one here, which could maybe work around something else in the room. I'm not too sure what, but you know, it's quite cool, quite an interesting shape. It almost looks like Pac-Man, to be honest. But, you know, if you could see this in like a different color, perhaps, less Pac-Man. But there's some really cool sort of tonally appropriate for a retro room kind of vibe colors there, and these are all sort of wood tones, which I thought would work really well, bringing in that sort of natural sort of chocolate tones that do work well in a retro room. And this one has a few different colors, a little bit different, and that could be like a really cool different option as well in the room. So I thought, you know, we always need sort of shelving and storage. We've talked a bit about storage in 2024 as a big thing, so creating those multi-purpose rooms and out-of-the-box storage options. So I wanted to have a few of those in our retro living room as well. This comes to us from the Clutter Cat On the Edge collection. Okay, and that is our episode. So we're wrapping up the On Trends CC series, and in the next episode that will be our last On Trends room series. So I've had a lot of fun putting together all the different kinds of collections and stuff for the CC from different creators exploring CC, and I will, as always, put the links below in the description for you if you are interested in any of the CC. And I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you had a lot of fun. Catch you in the next one. Bye bye.